I'm going to take you on a dark path. Is that okay? But I'm going to put you in a soft place. You trust me? Good afternoon, Toastmasters. I'm going to tell you about a journey I had in an orchard with 5 homicide detectives that were surrounding an orchard because something happened to me at 5 years old. And at 33, I told the police what happened. And as a result of that, I was at the crime scene. And they were looking for a brick wall. As a orchard had lines, I walked and passed each and every line, seeing the chain link fence to the poor middle class neighborhood I grew up in. And lo and behold, when I got to the line of where I believed the crime happened, I looked up and there was a brick wall. Why do I tell you that? Because in that moment at 33, I had to admit what happened to me did in fact happen to me. And I came to a place instantly knowing that that was truth. That if I get to choose, if I really get to choose, right? When things happen to us, are we a plastic bag in the wind? In that moment, I had to decide that that wasn't true. So in that moment, I got to choose. I did choose, and I did it deliberately. I looked at the brick wall and I said to everyone there that may have doubted my testimony about 6 weeks earlier, to a little girl recalling an incident that involved 5 people that committed murder, I had to admit it was truth. So what happens when you choose? That was really on the extreme. But we all choose how to frame things that happened to us in the past. I'm going to invite you to do a simple thing that in the instant I did. If I got to look back and remember certain things that were true, I could also fill in the blanks with things that served me. And it didn't matter if they were true. Because in that moment, I knew at 5 years old, I was the strongest person that was there that day. I never went to prison. I never had an addiction. I didn't repeat any abuse. And I looked at it squarely in the shoulders for what it was. It was choices other people made that I witnessed. And I was not going to let that ruin my life. And in an instant, I made a decision at 33 for the 5-year-old that didn't have a choice. 3 things happened to me that day. Number 1, I realized that your path to the past is one of imagination. Did you know that? Can you recall the past with all its converging realities? Of course you can. You were a child. All the adults there, you assume as an adult all those years later that you know their truth, when the truth is you have no idea what they were thinking or feeling. You come to summations as an adult to bring the circle to a whole, to its entirety. So in a way, you've used your imagination to form a memory of the past. I invite you to look at that. I invite you to very specifically look at your past. Those things that hurt you the most, you can revision them by using that same imagination that maybe came to some very harsh realities that impacted you for the rest of your life, and say, you know what? If I get to choose, then it's all about me. So I went back to a lot of the realities that happened to me about that. And instead of seeing a vulnerable little girl, I saw a bitchin', little mountain moving, force to contend with, that grew up with trauma that I made into hypervigilance that has served me to no degree I show up when I say I'm going to. I am 2% of the people in everything I do. If I commit to you, I am in. That's what that past did to me. If you get to choose, understand it's not about what happened to you. It's about what you make attributions to the thing. You have to dress it like a Christmas tree. That Christmas tree is about you. It's not about your past. You can't remember your past with any kind of honesty. You can't. And the reason for it is you took someone else's point of view, because the chances are whatever happened to you didn't give you the ability to see truth in a 360 peripheral. So you assumed points of view on something that you adopted as truth. We all know that we did that to our parents. Did we ask them everything we ever thought about them? No, we came away from our life with them and they were dead before we could do an autopsy on anything with any great detail. And if you're a parent, I got to tell you, your kids are doing the same thing to you. They're not asking you for data. So if your imagination built the negative past that has the power to hurt you, I'm inviting you to deconstruct it and build a past that serves you. Whatever happened that day was harsh. I can't minimize it, but I can tell you that I can look at it now without the thing ever talking about the thing. And I can tell you that because that happened to me, nothing is too heavy for me. Nothing is too heavy for me. I worked in a doctor's office. I witnessed death every day of my life. It was a terminal practice. It gave me emotional depth that few can really relate to. So if you can choose, then let it be about you. Be careful how that past tells a story about you ultimately. Thank you.